Okay, so we have this equation and they want us to solve for W. So how do we do it? Well, let me put in the wall of separation here. They want me basically to get W alone. How do I get W alone? Divide both sides by 50. First off. Oops. And on my calculator there, let's see that number. I'm getting 41. All right, divided out of my calculator. Now, what do we do from here? How do we get rid of that W? Well, I'm going to make a suggestion, which we're going to do a lot of in the next section. Basically, the problem is W's in the power zone, huh? Do you appreciate the problem with me for a minute? Let's absorb the difficulty. Like W is over here saying, I want to be alone, right? Get rid of this 1.09 so that I can be alone. Right? Yeah, sure. But how do we do it? I mean, we can't subtract it, huh? It's not added. We can't divide it. You might think we'll divide. No, it's not 1.09 times W, right? If it was times, we could just divide it, but it's to the power. It's to the power. That's kind of weird, isn't it? You see how weird that is? All right. So this is the situation when you have the letter in the power zone. Let me write that out for us, because I want to help you remember this. So when the letter is in power, to get rid of it, to solve for that letter, get that letter alone, what you have to do is do the opposites of powers. What's the opposite of a power? Logarithms. That's why they made them up. That's why we've even been studying logarithms, is for this, especially for this moment right here. You have an equation that has the letter in the power zone. You need to solve for it. When the letter's in power, take the ln of both sides. Now, could you just do the regular log side? You could. You totally could. I'm just going to do the ln. Ln, here, I'll do it on the next slide just so it's clear. I'm going to do ln here and ln there. And this is 1.09 to the W. This is 41 equals like that. Okay, so again, because you're not going to naturally think about, because it's kind of weird. It's like, where'd that come from, right? Exactly. I know it's kind of weird. And so that's why I want to kind of sink into your mind the idea that a logarithm is the opposite of a power. That's why they even made up the inverse function of a power. Therefore, if you got the letter in power, the way to handle it, you can't subtract it, can't divide it. What are you going to do? ln of both sides. You might think, okay, how's that going to help? How's that going to do anything? Now we use the special property. You remember the log properties? Specifically, here's the log properties. Remember log property 3? What can a power on, now this is regular log, but ln is the same thing. Just a special log, whatever, same thing, same powers, same properties. The power can come down to the front. You see, that'll take the power down. Why? Because logs are the opposites of powers. So that's what you do. So that W now right here will just drop down to the front like that. So it'll become W. And then ln of 1.09 equals ln of 41. See how that W came down to the front? Now it's no big deal at all. The W is just in the front. It's no longer in the power. In other words, it's just times. So now how do we get the W alone? That's been the goal all along, right? Get the W alone. It's piece of cake. Just divide by that ln 1.09, because now it's just multiplication. No big deal. So W equals, let me extend the line. Here we go. So yeah, now hit the buttons on your calculator. Take, and it wants you to round to 3 decimal places. Whoops. So round to 3 decimal places. So I'm going to hit ln of 41 divided by ln 1.09. And I'm getting 43.09203, blah, blah, blah. Let's round 3. So right there that you cut, when they say 3 places, you put your line there. So this is a 0. So that means just leave it as, don't round it up. Keep it 43.092. 43.092. So there we go. So the moral of the story is when you have the letter in power, what's going to get it out of power is take the ln of both sides. You could do regular log of both sides. That'd work too. That'd work just as well. Ln or regular log, either one will work fine. Of both sides. Why? Because logs are the opposites of powers. And so when you do that, then the property, the log property says the power can drop down to the front. Why does it say you can do that? Because logs are the opposites of powers. And then it's no longer in power, it's just multiplication. So then you can just divide off the ln 1.09, hit the buttons on your calculator, round it to 3 decimal places. And so there we go.